Howdy, folks. It's Meandering Mike in the man cave of madness. It is after midnight, and we are doing an unboxing. This is not one of those unboxings of stuff that I found and discovered, and I got boxes probably still with odd junk in it in places, but this is actually games I ordered from Blue Panther. They had a sale, holiday sale. More and more companies have been having their holiday sales earlier, before Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. Blue Panther just finished theirs up November 14th. I ordered, at the very start, and I got my shipment. Now, I was originally planning on buying a couple of games from the historical game company, like this one over here, Siege of Tenochtitlan, which I already had. I knew I wanted to get a couple more of those that I didn't have. So I went on to see the Blue Panther sale, and, well, I ended up getting a lot more than just 2 games. So let's take a look here what we've got. I'll just sort of bring them out. I've already had opened this up earlier, and I took a look at this. This one is Paul Koenig Games, Albuera. It's Napoleonics, 1811. Now, I'm not going to unbox everything. I'm going to take a look at what's in here, but I want to say something about Blue Panther Games. They used to be a game publisher. They sort of stopped doing that and started becoming a game printer, print on demand. So companies like White Dog Games and Hollenspiele started printing through their Paul Koenig Games. They've started to publish again. So, for example, like Land and Freedom is a title that they've, as an original title. They've also sort of become a custodial kind of a publisher where, I believe they bought up Schutze Games, and so they're publishing that line. There are some sort of hybrid, like Herman Lettman used to go through White Dog Games, amongst other publishers, and White Dog and Herman Lettman decided to stop doing business together, so a couple of his titles from White Dog are now being published by Blue Panther, and some new titles will come out from Blue Panther for him. Things like that. So there's various publishers. So we'll see some of them here, like the Historical Game Company, things like that. But if you want to become a designer, a publisher of games, you can actually use Blue Panther yourself, where they will be the printer and fulfillment agent, where basically, like Hollenspiele has their website, you order a game, they transmit the order to Blue Panther, it gets printed on demand, and Blue Panther ships it. So they are doing the printing and the fulfillment, but they aren't the publisher in that case. While other, like that I mentioned, they actually act as a publisher, sort of a custodial publisher. So for example, Bill Molyneux, he had some games that were published through Lock and Load, and elsewhere. I think also he had a couple titles, like this one here, Horns of the Buffalo. It's sort of like a joint venture, Blue Panther as publisher with Bill Molyneux Games, whereas some of his old Bill Molyneux games that were published by Lock and Load, I'm not sure if they have the BMG imprint or they're just Blue Panther, but we'll see, because one of them's in here. So, well, let's get on with that. So there's a variety of publishers in here. I originally intended just to get something from Historical Game Company, ended up getting I think there's 6 or 7 games in here. Okay, so this is a Ziploc. All the rest are box games. So Paul Koenig, he's famous for mostly his World War II. He did Fortress Europa. He's got he did a bunch for Victory Point Games. There was the Market Garden series, and there was Von Paulus's 6th Army at Stalingrad, and other things like that. I think he may have some Civil War titles too from PKG, Paul Koenig Games, but this is a Napoleonic one. All right. Now, so here's a White Dogs game. I decided to get this, Second Anglo-Sikh War. 1848. Let's see, can I get that? There we go. You can see me there in the background there. Maybe if that shadow, the reflection. So I've become more interested in the Anglo-Sikh since the playthrough and review and how to play I did on Maharaja. So I said, hey, I should pick this guy up. Into the Lion's Mouth. Solitaire suitability, kind of in the middle, it's not a high complexity 4, but I should be able, I can handle, most games that don't have too much hidden information. I can figure out how to solitaire. The things I can't really do are bluffing games, and sometimes bidding games are difficult. How to do them fairly solitaire, All right, so here is Allenby's Blitzkrieg. This, you can't see it on the front, but this was originally by Schutze Games. There you go. And so now this is being printed by Blue Panther, and I believe I believe some of the games that Blue Panther purchased, that they actually now own the licenses to them and are reprinting them or not. I don't know the status of all the Schutze games that way, but that's sort of what I remember hearing. So Allenby's Blitzkrieg, this is it 1918 or so? 1918. Oh, they're pushing up, trying to bring the Ottoman Empire to its knees. So I believe this is the period in the movie Lawrence of Arabia, where the Arabs versus the British, where they're sort of racing to see who can make it towards Damascus first and all that stuff. So I believe that's the case. All right, so here's a BMG Bill Molyneux Games Blue Panther partnership. Now, Savage Wilderness here. So they're calling this part of the French Indian War series, Volume 1, Volume 2. I can't remember the name of the first volume in the set. I have the original from Lock and Load. I've been looking for Savage Wilderness from Lock and Load. Haven't been able to find it. So I went ahead and picked up this version. There it is. Wow, can I read that little print there if I zoom in? Come on. Bloody Mohawk, yes, Bloody Mohawk. So I have the Lock and Load version of Bloody Mohawk. Zoom back out. So this is 1756 Fort Frederick. That's the front cover. I believe there's a number of different scenarios in this. Oh yeah, look at all these different battles. Fort Frederick, Ligonier, Oswego, Mercer's Massacre, German Flats, Bloody Morning Scout, Bloody Run, Grand Prix, Beauport, Devil's Hole, Katanning, Fort Bull, Petitcodine, and La Belle Famille. So, yeah, a lot of nice scenarios in there. That'll be cool. Bill Molyneux Games, Blue Panther. All right, so now we're getting to the Historical Game Company, which they have so many different titles that on battles that you're not familiar. They've done some on, Battle of Yorktown and something like that, but like I got really interested when they started doing these American Revolutionary War in the Western frontier, like along the Mississippi, Cahokia, Fort Jefferson, stuff like, people haven't heard of that stuff, right? Most people that know anything about the American Revolutionary just don't know nothing about that Western frontier. So very fascinating. And one thing that I like about these guys is no extra charge. They include a canvas map in theirs. Normally, like if you're doing a Blue Panther, sometimes there's an option to do a canvas map and you spend extra, but they just bought the bullet. And Stephen Kling Jr., the guy who's the head of Historical Game Company, I think he puts out a really great value. So I really think I don't want him to raise the price, but he could. He could raise the price. I don't think he's making much off of these. The fact that he's including the canvas map in there. He is a really great author. He's written books on American Revolutionary War, focusing on, the Western frontier. And I tell you, the quality of those books, the amount of of good graphics and paintings, and it's like, like those thick textbooks you get in school that are just loaded with cool extras and pictures and paintings, but they cost an arm and a leg, $150, $200 these days. Oh man, his quote unquote textbook, which doesn't read like a textbook, it's like $50 to $60. I can't remember. It's on Amazon. So check it out. Stephen Kling Jr. But anyway, this is the Siege of Delhi, 1857. It's a card. It's not really a card-driven game per se. You do draw a card every turn, and it tells you how many units you can move, how many you can attack. But it's always usually within a certain range. Occasionally, there's often a card that maybe for some reason you can't attack one turn or move, or there's very limiting. And there's usually a special bonus, or sometimes it's a penalty. You can't do a certain thing, or you get to get a bonus, or sometimes you get reinforcements, or sometimes you can rally at the beginning of your turn instead of the end of turn. So cool stuff. So it's just like, it adds some fog of war, a little bit of randomization. It makes it really interesting, when you're playing these solitaire, playing both sides, because you can't 100% know exactly how many units the dude's going to move next turn, or how you're going to get to move on your next turn. But it's within a range. It's not too swingy, except for those occasional, like, oh no, you can have an oh no moment. So anyway, let's look at the next one. The Battle of Waterberg, also called Ohamakari, 1905. Now, I'm going to guess, is this like Sudan, or I can't remember, or German Southwest Africa? Okay. During the German Herero War. Okay, I know nothing about this. The German attack against the Hereros, German Southwest. So that's Namibia, right? So South Africa, and then became called Namibia, German Southwest Africa. Wow, I know nothing about this. I bought it because I bought 3 of these from the history. I have them all now. Everything so far that they have published. Is that 100% true? I think there might be some weird thing like the Great Battles of the North or something that I don't have, but I can't remember. But I'll double check. It means they either have them all or all but one. But okay, this will be interesting. I love finding out about obscure battles, and he seems to come up with really interesting situations. And so far, his system, there's some chrome and minor changes in each system, but for the most part, it works relatively well for these kind of battles. So far, from in the 1700s and 1800s. He actually has one battle on the Battle of Stalingrad. I'm not sure how much of that's the same system or not, but I've not played it yet, but I did buy that, of course. And the last one here is the Battle of Son Tay. Now, this is 1883. Some of you may have heard of Son Tay, the Son Tay Raid in Vietnam. This is not that, obviously. This is 1883. This is the French wanting to crush the renegade Chinese Black Flag Army that has taken control of Tonkin and the Red River. All right, so it's the French versus the Chinese. Son Tay Fortress, 1883. So, looks interesting, and also something I do not know about. The Chinese Black Flag Army. All right. So, that is a Meandering Mike unboxing of my holiday indulgence of games. Can't remember if it was like 10% off or 15% off or whatever, but I went for it, and, these boxed historical game company games are pretty reasonably priced. If you have not checked it out, definitely do that. Some of these ones were a little more expensive. This one here, that had a lot of scenery. There's probably a lot of maps and counters in there. That was more expensive, but anyway, so I will, in 2024, I plan to play a fair number of these historical game company ones, and maybe I'll try to get some other things in play too, maybe some Bill Molyneux, French and Indian War stuff, maybe Anglo-Sikh, Into the Lion's Mouth, who knows. But yeah, I'm gonna try to do like the entire American Revolutionary War series of games that Stephen King Jr. did, sort of do them in chronological order. You know, they don't tie together as a campaign or anything, but two of the games are actually happening at the same time on opposite sides of the Mississippi River. so that'll be interesting to do that one, and you know, maybe make up a rule to say, hey, depending on, you know, which side wins first, whatever, that the other side gets some little bonus on the other side of the river, something like that. I don't know. So anyway, Meandering Mike, Man Cave of Madness, all these goodies that we unboxed. Last chance for you to see him. Blitzkrieg, Into the Lion's Mouth, Second Anglo-Sikh War. And here's some Napoleonics, all that stuff. So there you go. So we're rewinding, closing it up. That was... Yeah, so this stays closed. There we go. No, it doesn't want to stay open. Anyway, Blue Panther games. So take care, everyone. Hope you enjoyed your holidays. Hope you've had a chance to go out and purchase some more games from the various sales. I believe Revolution Games is still doing theirs. Compass Games has their sale that goes through January. You know, they've got their catalog sale, and it goes all the way to the beginning of January. And Hollandspiele, which wasn't available, you know, they published through Blue Panther, but they are having their sale starting the 20th or the 22nd. I can't remember. Soon. So like, what's today? Today's the 17th that I'm filming this, or the 18th, something like that. Anyway, so very soon, Hollandspiele, which of course, since I bought so many here, I won't be able to afford to buy many there. But Hollandspiele sale, they like, if you buy 2 games, you can get this free card game. So they do that every year. So I might just buy 2 games from them. We'll have to see. Well, that's it, folks. Like I said, enjoy your holidays, buy some games, play some games. Take care, and ciao.